several years ago, I had the opportunity to have one of the Miss Arizona United States Queens and Patty Council on another show that I was doing. And at the time, I really knew nothing about pageants. Like, my exposure to pageants was what I saw on TV.
Like tiara and toddlers.
Exactly.
Or toddlers and tiaras.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I had no idea how big the focus was on the community and what they do and their platforms and who they are. Like, it really isn't about it's not the primary.
The pretty face.
It's not just about that. Yeah, it's not just about the pretty face. It's not just about how well you rock that bikini. It's, there's so many other things that go into it. So after I had interviewed Patty, I really thought I had a good understanding of what this was about. And then my daughter was in the pageant, and I feel like I gained an even greater understanding. Last weekend, I've never cried so much. I mean, it was such a positive, a beautiful experience. And so I really wanted to bring some of that here, and I wanted to share with our listeners kind of what the Miss Arizona United States pageant and these lovely ladies, I mean, each of them has a fabulous story and is on a mission to change their community and do something different. So, shall we get to it?
Let's get started.
All right. So, up first, our first guest, we have Mrs. Shar McCready, who is Mrs. Chandler, Arizona, United States, 2014.
Hi, good morning.
That is a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Do you find that you have to kind of stop and think about it, or does it just flow when you say all of that?
Well, we rehearsed for so many hours this weekend that I now can say it. However, before that, I felt the same way.
I have to stop and think about it. All right, so Shar McCready is she's actually a trauma nurse. She is a cancer survivor, a mother, a wife, and she was part of the first decade of women to graduate from the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs.
That is correct.
So thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your journey to the pageant. What made you decide that you were going to participate in it?
Well, let me tell you, it was very, very unlikely. Nothing I ever thought of, and definitely not on my radar. Because by my introduction, I was certainly not a pageant girl growing up. And I'm much like your friend over here. I'm very blunt as well, and to the point.
See, and she
However,
won.
It's all about delivery, sweetie. It's all about delivery. And I actually was nominated by a client of mine through one of my businesses, and she called Patty Council, the state director, and Patty called me directly. And we had quite an interesting conversation. And the end of it was that Patty was absolutely right when she said, don't be so close-minded to think that you couldn't benefit from this journey and your story being out there, and that my pageant wouldn't be better with your story included. And she was absolutely right. And so I really couldn't say no at that point. And so on January 27th, I said, okay, and the journey began.
Now, your family and everyone around you, what were their thoughts about you doing a pageant?
They thought I'd gone crazy. They asked me, are you sure? Why are you doing this? And I just shared the story about my conversation with Patty, and she's absolutely right, because if we're not growing and getting out of our comfort zones and things that we think are normal for us, then life is stopped, in my opinion.
Well, I think it was so interesting because you had shared with me, I'm a rugby player, I shoot guns, I'm a trauma nurse, I'm in the retired military. So it just goes to show that there isn't one mold of someone that is in the pageant. And Patty kept saying, there were so many meetings that we had, and she kept telling all of the girls, when you're about to go on stage, don't compare yourself to everyone else. Be you. Be authentic. And so it just really illustrates that is what it's about. And I think it's great. Now, you were awarded the Miss Congeniality. I was not surprised by that at all. She gave me such peace knowing that she was there, especially because of all the accidents Sky had leading up to the pageant. And she was so kind and she was so sweet, so it didn't surprise me at all. I want to know a little bit about your platform and what you had picked and why.
Okay. Well, being a veteran obviously gives me quite a platform, and a female veteran, because there's a lot more going on in that realm. But most importantly, I tie that together with cancer. I battled 3 different kinds of cancer over a 15-year period. And as of pageant weekend, last weekend, I was 51 months without cancer for the first time in my life since my adult children were 6 months old. And I have 3 in college now, and my youngest child, who is 13, had never known me to be healthy until just 2 years ago. So I really believe for me that I chose to live first and then allowed God to do the work after that. And so I want patients, especially female veterans and those battling with terminal diseases, that you don't have to physically look the face of your challenge, because when you can mentally decide to win first, much more can happen in your health journey.
Oh, that is beautiful. I just have chills.
I know. Look, I have goosebumps. See, you say I don't care.
I never say you don't care.
Yeah, you do. But I have goosebumps. No, but congratulations on 51 months.
Thank you. Very excited.
Awesome.
That
We're
is
going to be
amazing.
having a big party because, as you know, 5 years is always the mark that they say.
Yeah.
So that'll be January 12th of next year. So y'all mark your calendars today.
I'm invited?
You're invited.
Yes!
Yes.
I got an invitation before you! Woo! Of course, I had to ask for it, but that's all right.
Nice boots.
I know, thanks.
What's next for you, Shar?
What's next for me? Well, I'm excited as a city title holder here to just be able to outreach and support the Queens from this year at all of the events, and help also my platform in the cancer and health journey world, just maybe meet up with some individuals or other ladies that maybe feel like they're the only one on their journey, to help give them hope, and that there's lots of different venues and media and paths that they can go on to help get better, not only physically but also spiritually and emotionally.
Do you think that you will compete again?
I think that I'm going to. My youngest daughter, after meeting Sky, who's sitting next to me, and several of the other girls at the kickoff party on Friday night, she had so much fun and was so welcomed by them. She said, if you'll do it with me, I think I'll do it. So absolutely I would do for her to support her as well.
And there are some mother-daughter pageants out there, aren't there?
There's actually a lot of
there are.
mother-daughter pairs that have competed in
Yeah.
this system as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this system is that they have okay, help me if I get hopefully I get this right. They've got the junior teen, they have the teen, they have the Miss, the Ms,
Mm-hmm.
the Misses.
Yes.
Yeah, so they've got five different. So you could easily have, if you had a junior teen and a mom, you could have all 3 of them. That would be amazing.
And that was interesting in this journey because I was old enough to be mothers to most of those out there. It's quite a perspective going on stage, let me just tell you.
As you were going through, let's talk about the stage. Was there any moment that you felt like this was a challenge, or this was the most exciting moment? Like what moment on stage Sunday was really memorable for you?
Wow, that's a good question. I really felt like it was kind of the culmination of both of my worlds, the military background, which I had been on stages briefing the President of the United States and general officers many, many, many times. And for me, it was the energy difference, that it wasn't so serious and that we could have fun and just let our light shine. And I think for me, it was the feedback from rehearsal and all of my friends and coworkers in the audience that said, it didn't matter if you won a title or not, we could tell you were having a great time. And that's really what I wanted to come through, was that life's about your energy choices and enjoying every moment, not about a title that you hold or don't hold.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, we are going to come back to Shar in just a second, because we have a fun thing with the greatness jar, but we're going to do that at the end of this segment. Sky Wagner,
Hello.
my baby girl, Miss Teen Mesa, Arizona, United States, 2014.
Good job.
Okay, thank you. This is really weird to interview my own daughter. Do you want to take this?
You know, you were going to do this
Sky.
back in December, too. So
Yeah. So, Sky, tell me about your journey to the...
Why doesn't
Not that I
Michelle
have
ask?
any
To
clue.
the stage.
What was your journey like to the stage?
This is really weird because you were there for it. 5 days before the pageant, I got attacked by a dog. 5 days before I got attacked by the dog, I got hit in the face with a wooden stick. So within a week span, I had gotten stitches twice. So I was kind of freaking out and kind of trying to decide if I was actually going to go through with it. And I did. And it was an amazing experience, and it was great.
Was there anything that you learned about yourself during the pageant?
Courage, being able to go on stage in a bikini, that it takes a lot.
Listen, I was holding my breath for every one of you ladies when they said up next. That I was like, oh God, I feel for them. Like I couldn't imagine walking out in heels and
Well, heels do help the cellulite and the legs, so it's a good thing people wore heels. Well, that's what I was told when I was out.
None
They
of
do.
these
They
girls-
kind of firm.
none of
everything
these
up.
girls had cellulite
Well,
on them.
I would need it, but anyway.
I don't think any of them ate bread. I'm just saying. I bet afterwards they were like, give me a loaf.
They're like looking at the pictures. Oh my God, that's what I would be doing. Okay, delete. No, but it is courageous to get up in front of complete strangers in pretty much your birthday suit covered up, key spots.
Did you know that they have something called butt
Butt
glue?
glue?
Butt glue rocks.
Listen, I learned things. If your bathing suit if you need your bathing suit to stay in place, butt glue. Google it. All right. Sky, what was your platform?
Wait, that might be weird to Google. I don't know if you wanna do that.
Right?
Okay,
Especially
don't
if you're a
Google it.
kid, don't
Google it.
Please don't Google that, because
Sky.
I have no idea what you might find.
Tell us a little bit about your platform and why you picked it. And it's totally okay.
Okay. My platform is helping children in abuse and neglect and going through that. My parents were drug addicts for the majority of my childhood, so I understand what they're going through, and I just want to be able to help.
I have a question. What's a platform? Because nobody's explained this to me, and I don't understand.
It's like the charity and the organization that you're gonna help, I guess.
So each girl comes on stage with a platform in mind, and does she say that up front, or is it said throughout the pageant, or how does she come to that conclusion that this is my platform?
Let's get to that a little bit later because we do have someone whose platform did change. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So Sky, how are your parents doing now?
They are doing great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My mother's sober 7 years, so
Thank you.
yay!
Thank you. All right, moving right along. Let's get to the greatness jar.
Yes,
Okay.
we have a minute.
Yes.
So we
Okay.
have to get to the greatness jar.
We can go 2 minutes if we need to. I built that in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the greatness jar is a Sky's idea. It's a Sky's idea. At home, we use this to put in all the great things that people do in our household. And we've replaced the contents with some fun questions. So I've told the ladies, if you want us to ask you a fun question, or if you want a serious question, fun is pink, serious is purple. So you decide. Ladies, pick. They did this at the pageant. They had a beautiful glass bowl, and they had all these colored. No, I'm going to read it to you twice, just like they did. Twice. They read it twice.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this to you twice, and then you get to answer it. Who, in your opinion, is doing a more important job, a housewife or a career woman? Who, in your opinion, is doing a more important job, a housewife or a career woman? See, I could do that job of reading these on stage.
Well, that's certainly an interesting question, and I really don't believe either is more important. I think it's most important that the woman is pursuing her passion and dream, because then she'll be 100% on when she's doing what she's doing. That means that her child and family will receive what they're supposed to receive from her, energy-wise, attention-wise, if she's pursuing her passion. If she's not, and she's doing it for the paycheck or because someone forced her, then no one receives the best, including her.
That is a great answer. You know, when you guys were all answering these, I so wanted to
Stand up and interrupt and give your
clap.
answer.
Well, and some of them I wanted to ask follow-up questions. But moving right along, thank you.
Moving along. And Sky picked the not so serious one. Which cartoon character would you be and why?
You're supposed to ask it twice, but
So you can do that job.
Because you didn't hear me the first time, or you didn't understand the question? Which cartoon character would you be and why?
Oh, snap.
Sky wouldn't win Miss Congeniality. She would
And it's
totally
because
correct
it's
the
not
rules.
Miss Michelle.
Oh, well, I don't follow rules very well, as
Clearly.
you can see.
All right, Sky.
Go ahead.
I think Minnie Mouse.
And why?
I don't have a reason. She's just my favorite cartoon
It
character.
said
The
and why.
question is
Okay.
why. Do I have to read it a third
Because
time for you, Sky?
I like her dress. There.
See, there you
Nice
go.
boots.
I like polka dots. Love the polka dots. You can't borrow them anymore.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right.
This has
We gotta
been
take
No
a break.
Limits Radio Show. We're going to go to a break. Char McCready, Mrs. Chandler, Arizona, United States, and Sky Wagner, Miss Teen, Mesa, Arizona, United States. I'll get it. All right. I'm Christina Wagner.
And I'm Michelle.
No title.
No.